Today is September 28th, 2022, and I'm here with World War II veteran Jim Snyder. Is that correct?
Correct.
Jim, were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted at the age of 18.
What year was that?
44.
Okay. Where were you sent for training?
Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Okay. How long did you do training there?
16 weeks.
And that was just basic boot camp?
Yes.
Okay. So after you did the training, did you go anywhere else for any types of other training?
No.
Okay. Where did you go to board the ship to go overseas?
I remember Newark, in the east, where we loaded. I reported there after basic training. I went home for, I think, 10 days, 12 days, and then reported to Newark, New Jersey. I was issued a new gas mask, so I was held up from my normal group of people, and I also was issued a nice new rifle, never been fired, all full of cosmoline.
Okay. Where did you go when you got on the ship to overseas?
Where did we go?
Yeah, your first stop.
Well, before we get there, interesting, I bought about 6 packages of cookies. I was going to have something to eat on the way over. First night out of the harbor, they had a real or imaginary torpedo maneuver or submarine. So somehow water got in the hole. I was on the bottom of the 3 stacks of people in this hole. My cookies were on the bottom. I heard those things slide across that ship pole, and then they'd come back, and they'd go away. They're floating in water.
Oh,
I never got one bite of cookie.
Oh my.
So sometimes being smart, it doesn't work. Anyway, we landed in Glasgow, Scotland.
Okay.
Took a train down to Southampton, England, and sat on a boat. I don't know the size of it. I know they made hot chocolate, and that's about all we had to eat for a few days until more people accumulated. We went across the English Channel, Le Havre, France, never a full building. They had been in the 0 zone of the invasion, so they got annihilated. It was just corners of the buildings up. So somehow we got close to Paris. They put us on a train across to somewhere a little south of, hold on just a minute, Germany. We landed over there, went across. Patton had been trying to get across the Saar River. There was some very vicious fighting. The Germans had, before they pulled out, eliminated all the permanent bridges. So Patton was trying to get a pontoon bridge across.
Mm-hmm.
Very heavy fighting. I cannot think of the name of that town. Anyway, we got to that bridge. Everybody took their gas masks off and threw them into a pile, and the pile was so high you couldn't reach the top, but they turtled out. We did get walk across his pontoon bridge that he had, as a bridge he had across there.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a Sunday evening. We were at a foxhole, the three of us. One man was from Auburn, Indiana. I don't know his name. Cannot recall his name.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday afternoon, they decided they wanted to expand the bridgehead.
Mm-hmm.
So we all crawled out of our foxholes and started walking away,
Okay.
walking forward. A machine gunner must have seen me because he opened fire. I dived behind a bunch of rushes, a crown of dirt with these rushes, and he proceeded to cut these rushes or willows, whatever you want to call them, down to nothing but little sticks and sawdust. After probably 10, 15 minutes, one bullet came through, missed my shoulder 3-4 inches, so I scooted over, and all of a sudden I felt myself being hit, and I got 3, one in the shoulder, 2 down my back, never hit a bone. But he quit shooting. Must have realized he hit me because he quit shooting at me. I scooted back, tree burst, very prevalent. I scooted, kept moving back, ran into an aid man, and he proceeded to put sulfa on my places where I'd been hit, and said there was a path about 3 feet, 4 feet, maybe, back to the aid station. Crawl over there, get on that path, and walk back to the aid station. And I proceeded to miss the path, went right back where I had been before, and 2 GIs were looking for potential prisoners, came along and put me on that path. And so I walked in probably, I don't know, 1/8 of a mile, something like that, back to aid station. I remember a shot never seen, I can't get it out of my mind. There was a GI laying there on his face, on a gurney, and he had a hole in his back where he's been part of that airburst, and he was still living, and they were trying to get a couple of guys to take him down to the Saar River to get him into Luxembourg. And I'll never forget that. I wake up many times seeing that picture. Anyway, I sat there at the aid station for a few minutes, and lo and behold, they did find some prisoners, and they took the other man down, and they had a Jeep waiting for me. So I walked down that hill, probably a half mile. Got on the Jeep, went into Luxembourg, and this was a MASH movie preview. I was laying there, a German there, a German, and doctors with their attire on and all bloody, that kind of thing. And about 10 o'clock that night, they took me in and cleaned up my places that I'd been hit. The next morning, they put me on a plane to Paris. I walked on, I couldn't walk on. My system must have set up or something, reaction. So I became a bed patient to that one. Somewhere around Paris, they put me on a plane, and it was I think a C-47, but it had seen combat, because I could look down several holes and see the English Channel as we fly across. Got to Southampton, bed patient. Oh, by the way, that rifle never got fired. Anyway, spent time. I went over on the Ile de France, third largest boat. At that time, I came back on the Queen Elizabeth, the #1 size boat. We landed in New York Harbor the day that Roosevelt passed away, so they would not unload us. Next morning, they took me to some hospital for a very short time. And then we went down to Jackson, Mississippi, and there whatever they did to my shoulder and back, and I was there for about a month, and they sent me home for a short time, and then I reported to Camp Atterbury, and ultimately was discharged. I went in on the 10th or 11th of September, and I came out in August. So I was in 11 months and 10 days.
Wow.
I still have problems with the shoulder. Cold, damp day, and it lets me know.
Okay.
That's my war story.
Okay, the questions I have. What unit were you a part of? Do you remember what division you were a part of?
I was Patton, 3rd Army, 94th Division, 94th.
Do you remember your regiment and company?
No.
Okay. Were you also a part of the Battle of the Bulge? Were you a part of the Battle of the Bulge?
No.
Okay.
I went over after that.
So you must have came in when they were starting to cross the Rhine River. Is that correct? Or was that before they crossed it?
I can't answer that. I know the Saar River
Sorry.
was a bloody mess, but Rhine, can't answer.
Did you ever liberated any concentration camps or work camps?
No.
But have you heard stories from
the
horrors?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever talked about your service to anyone before?
Ever.
Talked about your service to anyone before?
Oh, yes. My family, kids didn't realize it until they were
Older.
adults.
Mm-hmm.
We never talked about it around the house, that kind of thing. I would say I did not until recent association with people that were there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I had a brother that spent 3 years over there, and we never talked. In the tank corps, and we never talked about it.
Yeah, because you've seen a lot of horrors.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the honor flight?
No. Had a chance, but I wasn't feeling well, so I have, or my wife has a niece that tried to get me on. And I would have gone had I, but for some reason I didn't feel like I should because I needed too much care at that point.
Do you ever think about still going on it, or no?
I hadn't even considered it.
Well, they take good care of you when they take you to DC.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever decide to go, I'll be proudly to be your guardian. Because
Okay.
I've been wanting to go back to DC because I've been there a few years ago. Unbelievable experience. So, yeah.
Other than being able to say, I've gone, I've seen it, what's the advantage?
Okay.
You want to answer me?
Oh, I didn't know that was a question. I apologize. Well, it's you're proud of your service, correct?
I am anyway. I don't need you to do that.
But at least you served your country. I thank you for that, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. I hope this made your day, because you don't see young people doing this.
No, I was surprised.
Yeah, a lot of people are surprised that a young man would like to do this.
Oh, I figured you had something in mind, and I admire you for that kind of endeavor rather than how bad our situation, government is doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to do this interview.